Hey, welcome back. Today, we're talking about something that gets to the heart of how we connect with each other, our relationship with needing people. Are you the kind of person who insists on doing everything yourself? Or maybe you're the one everyone else leans on? Let's get into it.
I have to kick things off with this confession because I think so many of us feel this in our bones. That feeling when you're completely lost, but the thought of stopping and asking for help feels like you failed somehow. It's this deep-seated struggle with vulnerability that we're going to unpack today.
And that brings us to what you could call the reliance paradox. See, on one hand, we're told that to be strong, you have to be totally self-sufficient, don't need anyone for anything. But the reality? A truly rich, meaningful life is built on connection. And you just can't have real connection without being able to lean on each other.
Okay, so let's dig into the ways this can go wrong. The source material lays out these four really common but pretty unhealthy patterns of how we deal with needing others. As I go through them, just ask yourself if any of these sound a little familiar.
First up, we have hyper-independence. This is the classic lone wolf. You're friendly, you're pleasant, but you keep everyone at a safe distance. The idea of really asking for help is just, nope, not gonna happen, because that would mean admitting you can't handle it all on your own. Then there's number two, caretakerism. Sound familiar? You are the rock for everyone else. You give advice, you lend a hand, you offer a shoulder to cry on. But the second someone tries to do the same for you, you shut it down. Giving support feels great, receiving it feels just plain wrong. The third one is toxic dependence. Now, this is when you're leaning on someone, but the relationship itself is actually damaging. It's manipulative or it holds you back. This isn't the kind of reliance that helps you grow, it's the kind that really wears you down. And finally, there's stigmatized dependence. This one's tricky. You do actually rely on other people, but you feel awful about it. You might find yourself constantly apologizing for your needs or trying to downplay them because you've internalized this idea that needing help is some kind of character flaw. All right, so if those are the four traps we can fall into, what's the way out? Well, this is what the source material calls the fifth way, a much healthier, way more fulfilling path called nourishing reliance. And just look at the difference here. This slide says it all, really. We're literally swapping out words like shame and weakness for gratitude and strength. We're moving from relationships that are shallow and erosive to ones that enrich our lives and help us flourish. It is a completely different way of thinking.
So what is nourishing reliance? Well, here it is. It's the sweet spot. It's not just about, grudgingly admitting that you need help sometimes. It's about delighting in it. It's about seeing our interdependence not as a burden, but as something truly meaningful, something that makes life better for everyone. I know, that sounds fantastic, right? But if it's so great, why is it so incredibly hard for so many of us? Let's take a look at some of the common fears that really get in our way. Let's just take a second and be really honest with ourselves. This question gets to the root of it. Deep down, do you believe that needing someone else makes you weak? It's a message we get from all over the place, and it's a hard one to shake. Or maybe this is what's holding you back. Are you so afraid of being a burden that you never ask? Or maybe you're a bit cynical. You figure if someone offers to help, they must want something in return, right? There's got to be a catch. But here's a way to completely flip the script on that thinking. What if we've been looking at this all wrong? What if leaning on other people isn't a failure? What if it's actually an act of courage? The quiet courage to be vulnerable. And this is where it gets really interesting, because it turns out when you let someone help you, you're not the only one who benefits. You are actually giving them something incredibly important in return. Let me show you what I mean with a simple example. So picture this. You're moving, it's a huge pain. And a coworker, someone you're friendly with at the office but don't know super well, offers to give up their entire Saturday to help you haul boxes. What's your gut reaction? You've basically got two choices here. The polite thing to do, the thing that avoids being a bother, is to say, "Oh no, thanks so much, but I've got it covered." But in doing that, you close a door. If you say yes, though, well, yeah, you get help with your move. But you also open the door to gratitude, to connection, and maybe, just maybe, a real friendship. And here's the profound gift you give in return. We all have this deep, fundamental need to feel like we matter, to feel like we can make a positive difference in someone else's life. When you accept help, you give that person the chance to feel valued. You give them the gift of mattering.
Okay, so this is where the rubber meets the road. We get the theory, but how do we actually start doing this in our own lives? How do we start practicing this nourishing reliance? Let's walk through 4 really practical, actionable steps.
Here's your playbook. First, start asking for help of all kinds, not just practical stuff, but ask for advice, ask for emotional support. Second, when someone offers help, just practice saying yes, even if it feels a little weird or you think you can handle it. Third, let yourself be influenced by the people you love and trust. And fourth, when you say thank you, be specific. Don't just say thanks, say why it helped. And on that third point, accepting influence, here is a game-changing phrase. When you're in a disagreement with someone you care about, try saying these 4 words. You have a point. It's so simple. It doesn't mean you fully agree, but it tells them I hear you and I value what you're saying. And in the end, it all comes down to the simple, beautiful truth. To be human is to need other people and to be needed by other people. It's not a flaw we need to overcome. It's the very fabric of who we are. And embracing that is the key to it all.